finally, the PlayStation fanboys actually calmed down for once and decided to go pick up their little controllers and actually go play video games instead of playing Twitter, which they've played about, what, maybe 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000 hours on Twitter, instead of actually investing time into actual video games for once. But finally, I finally get around to the Harmon Smith video that I've been dying to get to ever since it first dropped. So for my new audience members that have no idea who Harmon Smith is, well, let me go ahead and explain this as the easiest way as possible. Imagine a fanboy that hates every single video game that's not on its precious little platform. No, I'm serious. This dude hates every single game that comes out that is not on the Nintendo Switch or is literally not exclusive to the Nintendo Switch. I've covered this guy for the past, like, what, 1 or 2 years that I have been doing Soul content. Yeah, I'm not kidding you guys right now. You could go through my whole library of videos on him and you're going to see some things that you're not ready for. And if you think I'm just over exaggerating things, here's a little screenshot that I'm going to bring to you guys that I covered in one of my videos about Harmon Smith. I am telling you right now, if you go to watch that video after you're done watching this one, trust me, you're not going to like the opinion that he has to say about Zelda in that one. Trust me, it's going to be a curveball for you. But let me go ahead and just kind of tease you a little bit in this situation. If you're wondering what video I'm going to be covering that he decided to post on his channel, well, it's going to be about the Pocket Pair one and their legal battle that is going on with Nintendo. No, this is not an old one. This is about a 5-day-old one that I was trying to get to on an appropriate time, but you guys don't know what happened with that one. But anyway, enough of that nonsense. If you guys are ready to dive right into the content, please make sure to go grab yourself a nice little drink and a nice little snack, and we're just going to go ahead and dive right into that content. You know what I miss the most out of this whole situation? If any of my OGs have been part of this channel for a very long time, you know for the fact right at the beginning of Harmon Smith's videos, he used to, publish his book right out to the public saying, "Buy my book for everybody," and I used to dunk on him with like quick little fucking memes and shit. Those were the good old days.
It's been a long time since I talked about Palworld because at its core, this is not a relevant video game.
Well, good for you, you're wrong.
See, funny thing about that though, Harmon, is that the pure fact that your favorite company, Nintendo over here, that little shrine that you like to have in the back of your closet, that you pray to them every day and you kind of rub your chest every time you look at that sign over there. Yeah, it's got Nintendo's attention just enough that even a slight mention about the lawsuit that is going on between Nintendo and Palworld right now, it blows up on the fucking internet. I kid you not. When the fucking patent came out, there was just news articles on top of news articles on top of people supporting Palworld because Nintendo is just abusing the law against Palworld, which I don't understand why the court system's allowed in the first place, but hey, I'm not a lawyer here.
All the copes, all the narratives, all the lies essentially amount to nothing. Palworld was never going to be successful. It was never going to be a big deal. It was never going to replace Pokemon,
Pardon me, but that's bullshit.
Oh, really, Harmon? Then please explain to me why Nintendo is currently suing Palworld right now. It can't be the fact that they probably see Palworld's developers as a threat because Palworld gained a lot of traction due to the fact that you pokey freaks, you Nintendo fanboys, decided to lose your mind over the fact that it was starting to gain traction because you people opened your mouth and decided to open the hells of gate right onto Nintendo. Let's be honest here for a quick second too. None of this, Palworld would have probably not have gotten as big as it was if it wasn't for the fact that you guys practically gave them free advertisement for their game. And not to mention too, you put false accusations against these people saying that they stole designs from, you know, freaking Nintendo and the Pokemon company, and that they stole, well, not stole, but they use AI generated models to make their characters and stuff, which came out later to be proven that they really aren't.
And this was pretty self-evident, you know, right out of the gate, but the community could not bring itself to admit it. They bent over backwards to try and cover up the obvious plagiarism. They tried to shill for Pocket Pair. They tried to make them out to be some like heroes of the gaming industry, and they pretended that they were 100% guaranteed to win the lawsuit against Nintendo.
Nice argument, Senator. Why don't you back it up with a source?
My source is that I made it the fuck up.
Harmon, can you please show us some evidence of plagiarism? Like, come on, like, please. I have to know where you're going to pull this out of your hairy little ass. On top of that, too, if you're referring to that Twitter dude that was a fanboy, he's already admitted that he's already tempered with the models directly on his editor so he could falsify information. Yeah, spoiler alert, that piece of evidence is not going to work in the courts, Harmon. On top of that, too, you're acting like the hearing, well, not the hearing, but with the lawsuit right now is already over. It's not over right now. And spoiler alert, too, Harmon. Yeah, the little mechanic to where you could write on your pals, well, no, you technically glide with your pals. Yeah, you know how Nintendo got that removed and they're claiming that it's their property, their right, because they patented it? Well, here's a bit of a spoiler alert. You know, I've actually followed Palworld ever since its first inception, right? Right, Harmon? Yeah, spoiler alert, I came to find out about something because I wasn't sure about it myself before I made a statement about it. Did you know Palworld released a video of them using the PAL glides on there? You know, the PALs to basically fly, before they patented the idea? Do you know what that means, Harmon? Do you know what's going to happen to those patents? It means Nintendo's going to lose that patent, meaning that they're going to no longer have a chokehold on that mechanic anymore. And I pray on Nintendo's downfall every single day, Harmon, because I want to see you lose it.
In fact, when this situation first kicked off, they were in denial that there was going to be a lawsuit to begin with. You know, and after the lawsuit was announced, they tried like complaining about some arbitrary difference between patent law and copyright law. You know,
I will send you to Jesus.
Harmon, nobody was saying that Nintendo couldn't sue them. Everybody was saying that they don't have a very good case against them because, one, many other games that are out on the fucking, you know, marketplace right now use the same mechanics that they are currently suing Palworld over. And secondly, there is a huge difference between copyright law and patent law. You want to know what those are? Basically, these two are two different functions of property protection. Copyright protects creative works like books, movies, video games, and music, while patents protect inventions like new products and processes, basically like mechanics and stuff, that type of thing. And FYI, the only dude here that's pretending to know what they're talking about is you, Harmon. I've got so many videos on you pretending that you know what you're talking about, but yet here's again, probably for the 50th video in a row of me dismantling your freaking arguments once again.
right? Like it was, I think, the biggest example of how the PC gaming community will bend over backwards to try and prop up some mediocre developer in order to get one up over Nintendo.
This is one of the best examples that I can provide to my new audience members. This is why I cover Harmon Smith. This dude literally talks shit about IPs that he's never touched in his life at all. It took this dude 2 years to play Elden Ring, and this dude will never play Palworld on his PC. He might prove me wrong, I don't know, but let's be honest here for a second, the way he's going right now, there's no chance in hell he's gonna do it. On top of that too, Harmon, how could you know that Palworld is made by mediocre developers when you haven't even played the game yourself? Because if I took Pokemon Scarlet and Violet and then put Palworld right next to them, and I let people decide what they want to play, 9 times out of 10, I'm pretty sure they're gonna pick Palworld due to the fact that Pokemon Scarlet and Violet over there looks like a mobile game ripped off from the original idea of Pokemon.
Like, trying to say Celeste is a great 2D platformer, Hollow Knight is better than Metroid, or that like Pizza Tower is some like legendary game that's never been done before.
Harmon, for the love of God, these are just people's opinions. These are people's opinions, how they feel about certain video games. Don't take it so seriously to heart. This is exactly what I'm talking about, especially for my new audience members. Like, this is your first Harmon Smith video. He does this constantly. He degrades everybody that enjoys everything else that is not a Nintendo exclusive or not on the Nintendo Switch first. He degrades it all the time.
These people are completely out of touch with what's actually available on Nintendo consoles and how much their stuff actually stacks up. The big cope when it comes to something like Pizza Tower, for example, is that like, well, Nintendo hasn't made a Wario Land game in 20 years, completely ignoring the fact that the 20-year-old Wario Land games are actually significantly better than Pizza Tower. Right.
Seriously, this dude's getting derailed from the main topic of the whole video. Yeah, I can't tell you how many times that I've covered a Harmon Smith video where he completely derails right off of the main topic of the fucking video. It happens one too many times, and I feel like I have brain damage every single time that I cover him.
There are dozens of examples of this over the years, but I honestly feel like Palworld is the most blatant example. And I do think we can safely say at this stage that the reason for this behavior, the reason why like people prop up these mediocre games so much, is purely out of contempt and hatred for Nintendo.
You want to know why we hate Nintendo, Harmon? You want to know why we despise the hell out of them? Is because they have complete disregard for their own customer fucking base. They have complete disregard for their own fan bases. And on top of that too, they have complete disregard for anybody that has any innovative ideas on their own properties. So instead of like pulling a Sega where they hire these people to come in and get very innovative with their fucking inventions, somehow, some fucking way with Nintendo, they decide to uninnovate their fucking games. Somehow, some lick of a fucking way with them, especially with Pokemon 2, the most grossing video game franchise ever.
It has nothing to do with like actually appreciating Palworld or thinking it's some like amazing new thing or that like it's evolving the Pokemon formula. Right? It's just a method of condemning Nintendo and their fans.
Actually, Harmon, we were enjoying Palworld perfectly fine till you Nintendo fucktards over there decided to fucking scream to Daddy Nintendo, oh my god, they're stolen your property, they're doing all this bullshit against you, they've stolen your property, Daddy Nintendo, please come out and protect your property. It's just like, we didn't fucking throw the first stone or cast the first punch. You fuckers did. That's the reason why we're in this whole controversy in the first place, Harmon. Because the fanboys like you wanted to start shit. So instead of finishing the fight like you fuckers, wanted to, you brought Big Daddy Nintendo in. So I guess we gotta finish the fight with Nintendo too. Gotta bleed them dry like the little piggy they are.
For the narrative against Pokemon to take its next logical step forward. This idea that some other random thing is going to swoop in and be bigger and better.
And how exactly are we supposed to know that when Nintendo wants to sue its competition right into the freaking ground before they even get a fair chance to fight back? I mean, I'm surprised they even allow this in the United States court system in the first place. Oh god, you gotta love the United States.
We've seen this like a lot over the years when it comes to like other Nintendo franchises. But with Pokemon, like, it's never really gotten any traction, There are lots of people who will try and tell you that, like, Okame was better than Zelda, or that, like, something like Astrobot was better than like Kirby and the Forgotten Land, or Baldur's Gate 3 better than Zelda. Like,
Harmon, we get it. Get to the fucking point.
there was this huge push to try and make it seem like Nintendo was some dying company that couldn't compete with like the big boy developers. And yeah, Palworld is an example of that just falling flat on its face, because I think Nintendo's games are so specifically distinct and with their own unique mechanics that even something like Palworld, that completely changes the genre, right, can still be spotted as being plagiarized by fans.
It is 3 o'clock in the morning right now, and I'm listening to a madman ramble on and on about a fucking video game that doesn't have like any remote closeness to of plagiarism to a fucking video game that he's never played in his life. For Christ's sakes, fucking Harmon. Pals don't even fucking evolve. And if we were going to take about these, going down the road of plagiarism and stealing mechanics, wouldn't Mega Evolution be technically stealing ideas from Digimon? I mean, they've evolved basically, into like their ultimate form. So, I mean, technically they're stealing from Digimon.
Like, there are plagiarized assets from Pokemon. They did steal mechanics from Legends Arceus. It's a straight up copy. And Nintendo clearly has been demonstrating this in court. And unfortunately, Palworld has had to take the knee and acknowledge that, yes, they have been plagiarizing stuff. They do need to make changes, and they do need to acknowledge like their game as just being a complete knockoff of Pokemon.
Harmon, please show us some proof that they've been plagiarizing Pokemon Legends of Arceus. Please, I want to see the fucking proof that you have instead of just speaking it out of your fucking mouth. And Nintendo hasn't came out publicly and said anything yet. All fucking Palworld has done is that they had to remove mechanics because they were fucking ordered to. Meaning we're not sure if it needs to be removed right now, or it's going to be proven later in court that that they can actually keep it in there due to the fact that, many others have used it before they used the patent, before the patent had kicked in, so it wouldn't be really fair to target these people. It's just like, it's a whole fucking legal mess that's not even done yet, Harmon, and you're already celebrating the fucking hollow victory.
And you can already see this in how they've been responding to these lawsuits. Like, we're gonna, they're like trying to weasel their way out of it, like they're trying to say that like, we're just gonna change the way the mechanics work then, and that like the cope right now is that like this doesn't mean anything, and that this isn't gonna amount to anything, and Pocket Pair is protecting themselves from Nintendo, but the reality is they're kind of already acknowledging guilt, and they're just trying to weasel their way out of it. They think they're going to remain relevant after this lawsuit is through, and it just isn't going to happen. Like Pocket Pair is going to get taken down. It is going to be removed for sale. It will be stripped from consoles. They will be forced to issue refunds, and they will have to like give Nintendo all of the money that their fans gave them to try and make Palworld into some big internationally respected IP.
It's amazing. You are 100% wrong. I mean, nothing you've said has been right.
Harmon, you have zero idea how the fucking court system and litigation works at all. This little video where you have your little psychobabble about Palworld and how Nintendo and the court system is going has absolutely proved to me you have no idea what the fuck you're talking about at all. They're gonna have to pay all the money that they've ever made off of Palworld back to Nintendo. Do you even know how a refund system works in the first place? If they're gonna have to refund the fucking money back to their fucking fans, then how the fuck are they gonna give all the money they made to Nintendo? It's that doesn't work. That doesn't work. Oh my god, it's Harmon. Gar, it's Harmon. You can't make up. You can't understand this man's logic because there is no fucking logic. This man's logic is just it's fucking maddening. Don't try to understand it, Gar. You're gonna go fucking insane. And you know what, Harmon? I hope Nintendo loses this litigation, not just for the sake of Palworld, but for the gaming industry too, especially what they've been doing recently with their freaking consoles and their video games, how they're going to handle next generation. I hope they lose, because you know what? Nintendo's an absolute scumbag, just like the other corpos. I hope they lose, and I hope they lose their patents, just for the sake of the gaming industry. Otherwise, you might as well kiss any development, any fucking inspirational, or any fucking creativity in this industry will go fucking bye-bye, because these corporations are gonna choke it the hell out, and well, we're gonna be pretty much fucked. We're gonna be playing nothing but Call of Duties for the rest of our fucking lives, thanks to Nintendo. And thankfully that it's all the Harmon Smith content I got you guys for today. Thank God it is over. It's literally like 5 in the morning right now, and all I hear is a madman rambling on and on. How dare Nintendo have competition? Oh God, I don't like competition. It shows how inadequate Nintendo is. It's just like, oh God, Harmon, go get a fucking life, dude. You really need to get a fucking life. But anyway, fam, thank you very much for watching my video. I truly do appreciate it. And if you enjoy this type of content, please leave a like and comment in the comment section. Always a pleasure to talk to you guys. And hey, you want more of my type of content, ranging from rants, reviews to, well, fanboy content, subscribe to the channel. You'll definitely get more of that. And hey, you'll help me get to in the algorithm to more people to come enjoy this content. And you know, you'll get me one step closer to 10K. But anyway, thank you very much for sticking around this long and dealing with the sellout stuff. And I will see you guys in the next video. Later, fam.